Hey, welcome to Spitter Swallow Beer Review. I am Jammer.
And I am Shagdog, or am I?
Don't know. Could be.
Could be.
You could be a replica,
Yes. Or
a
clone.
replicant,
Or parallel universe.
or another dimension,
Right. Spitter Swallow Bear Review. We are
which
doing
is
our
a
drinking.
parallel universe.
Right. Kind of, yeah. Or much be multiverse, right? But if is the multiverse infinite? That's what I wonder. Or is it a circle? It comes right back to you. But how many? Anyhow, we're doing drinking and thinking. We're Jammer. I got this Matrix stuff up because I think there's a glitch in the Matrix. What do you think?
I agree with you, sir. I honestly agree with you. There's things that, I was watching some videos about discoveries over in Egypt and everything like that. Not just Egypt, but across the world. And I've always been big in history and learning about different cultures and their histories and all that stuff. You know that. You're big on that kind of too, about history in general.
Yeah. I mean, sporadically,
And
yeah.
and I may not know a lot about it, but I've heard about it. I've heard about this and I've heard about that. And there's like two or three things that I saw on a video recently that popped up that I never heard of. And it's like, wait a minute, you're telling me that's down in, I forget where it was now, but it was in this other country that was close by. And I'm like, you mean they have this and structure and these carvings and stuff like that? I said, well, I'm thinking to myself, why hasn't it been on the History Channel? They have it everywhere, They, it's like, and I'm like, am I just learning this after being on this earth all this time and me being obsessed with history and all that stuff all this time, and I'm just now learning this? That there's this one country that had these carvings that supposedly predate every other culture, and they've known about it for over 40 years. I find that
Huh.
hard to believe.
This ain't the place they dug up. That's up by the Euphrates and the Tigris River in Iraq, is it?
I don't think that was it.
No.
It's just weird, And then on top of that, there's certain stones and metals that they're using for like jewelry today. I forget what the which I don't remember the names of the stones and stuff like that. I know that they had platinum back in the 30s and all that stuff, but how far did platinum go back?
I guess we could Google that, but yeah. Yeah. What was it used for way back if they did use it?
Uh,
What did they use it way back then if they did use it? Yeah. What's that got to do with the Matrix, all these precious stones? You're just thinking
we
they
don't
weren't
say stuff
around and
like
all of a
that.
sudden they are?
It's just that all of a sudden now they're using these stones and I've never heard of them and everything. I'm like, is it
Oh,
because I never heard of them, or and they always been around? Or,
I didn't know they
but
used
then,
precious
then I
metals
have
on
these
cars.
things. Then I have these feelings and thoughts that come to mind where I seem to think that I never did this or whatever that, but then I look back and I have done that, and I
Oh.
have seen this, you know. It's like sometimes I think you have told me things and I've gone back to you and said, "Do you remember when this or that?" And you're like, "I don't remember ever saying anything about that." I'm like, "Oh, what the hell?"
Oh yeah, I have a lot of times where you come to me and like, yeah, you told me, or I told you this. I'm like, I don't remember that. Maybe it's me.
And I'm wondering if it's because you honestly don't remember, which could be,
My dementia is kicking in,
yeah, or
or my
you know.
dementia is made part of the matrix.
But one of the big things is all the different logos and different things, and I really feel like we kind of slipped into another dimension because the way people are acting,
Yeah,
the way
that's true.
human behavior has been, and how you know corporations, they might have listened to the consumer to a degree, but they've never been big at bending over for a consumer.
Right,
You know,
especially for social causes. I mean, maybe a
yeah,
little bit for something that helps people, like USA for Africa or stuff
mm.
like that. But for something about
But for just
abortion,
somebody to be able to say their pronouns, no.
right?
And I'm not getting political on that. I'm just saying it feels like we've slipped into
Yeah,
another dimension.
yeah. It's like stuff that normally they want to get in on. Yeah,
Yeah, and I
even
feel a lot of times that
political parties getting on and stuff like that too. They never got on stuff like that.
yeah, that time is just fast forward.
Yeah,
You know,
you think 2012 might have been the catalyst for it, right?
I feel like that might
Or
have been it.
or even 911. I mean, just everything's been different since 911. Really, just getting
Yeah.
worse and worse as we go along. All right, Jammer. Well, speaking of the Matrix, we want to go through a list of 15 Matrix thingamajiggies. Some of them
Do
I've
you
heard of, some of them I haven't.
do you not agree with me on some of that feeling that people are acting
Yeah, and I don't know if that's Matrix, education, a whole bunch of
or
different stuff
heart
mixed. Yeah, weird
or
stuff, man.
the 5G, 4G
For
waves and
5G, yeah, something with the Cosmo after 2012 to center.
the programming with the TV programming and all that
Right.
stuff
The
and the
sun
radio.
supposedly passed the galactic equator in 2012. Maybe that has something to do with it. Who knows?
Well, the Mayans did say it wasn't supposedly the end of the world. It was a reboot type
Rebirth
thing,
or whatever.
rebirth, the beginning of the end,
Right.
that kind of thing.
A new
So
new phase because they have their phases, right?
yeah, so maybe we've slipped into the
Yeah.
and what do they call it? Nihilistic?
Who knows? Maybe it will be like whatever happened to the Mayans where they scattered and
Yeah,
whatever,
well, I
right?
can see that happening.
Scattered to big cities or big cities become war zones or whatever. Who knows? All right, 15 things for the Matrix Jammer. But if you never heard of it and I never heard of it, let's skip it and go to the next one, right? The
All
first one I
right.
never heard of, but if you heard of it, you can talk about the Yanny versus Laurel. You ever heard of it?
Just give me a brief.
2015, the world flipped out because we all looked at the same photo and some of us saw a blue dress while others saw a gold dress. Or the Yanny Laurel fiasco 2018, there was also a less
Oh
expensive
yeah, I've
blue.
heard of that. That was that fashion thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard of that. I don't quite remember it, but I've heard of it.
yeah. They put in other words, there is no spoon. Really? Okay. But I don't remember that one. Number 14, we're already good at making simulations and we're getting even better. This is kind of like simulations more than Matrix, but it's all part of the Matrix, right? Like we're in a simulated world. So that's what it says, but Matrix, right?
Yeah.
2014, Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics are connected 8,000 computers to create 350 million light years simulations of our universe and digitally age it over 13 billion years. The Sims video game franchise has sold over 125 million copies in the first decade, shows we're interested in playing with simulations too. If and when a future version of humanity finds themselves with the ability to recreate or to create more realistic simulations, it wouldn't be a surprise if they opted to use it. So we use simulations, so therefore we're a simulation of something else, right?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Number 13, we already know what the bricks of our matrix are. According to simulation believers, we may have already found the pixel sized building block of the universe, the Planck length, the point at which our concepts of gravity and space time no longer apply. If our world is simulated, the Planck length would be equivalent to 1 bit of information or a pixel.
Okay.
All right. And number 12, it makes more sense than ghosts. Paranormal events are not haunting or alien encounters, but glitches in the simulation. The theory one most is the one most explored on Reddit forums. We live in a simulation and glitches in the matrix. We use explore big ideas, philosophies for God, it's so long. Slip between parallel timelines or a pop up. A car passenger sees the word render in the sky as if entering a new part of the video game. Elevators are a frequent set-in for glitch stories. The jump between floors seem to encourage a slip within dimensions, which I believe that with elevators.
I can see the dimensional shifting.
I hate elevators.
Well, they're all about going up and down.
Yeah, to a different dimension. The unexplained. Oh shit. Next one is the Goldilocks zones, which is the Earth's Goldilocks zone. We live within a Goldilocks zone, close enough to a star that greenhouse gases can trap heat to keep liquid water, but far enough away that the planet doesn't become a Venusian hothouse, right? Like Venus. That we live in such an orbital sweet spot is circumstantial evidence for a simulation. If our sim designers wanted us to succeed, it makes sense that they'd place us in such a cushy environment.
Well, that doesn't. To me, that doesn't tell me that it's a simulation per se,
Right.
as it is
There's no
a
proof.
all powerful
I
being.
mean, if it was simulated part of the program, yeah, if you could prove that. But to me, it's just like luck. We're a big rock floating around in space, and we just got caught in that
Well,
pattern.
it's not luck to me because I look at how precise that is and how perfect that just a little off, and we could be all dead right now.
Right.
And that's why I think that that tells me that there's an all powerful, all knowing being. Granted, if it's a simulation, that person that created the situation simulation would be the all knowing, all powerful
Yeah.
being. So I guess
But
you could say it's possible that it could be, but it makes me think more of a god-like figure.
yeah. Plus, they think there's other planets from their telescopes that they have to see as far as the stars that there are some other planets
See, I think that's more of a simulation than
fall, in the same zone around their star or
you know,
whatever.
the stars stuff,
Yeah.
the other planets. I think that's more of a simulation.
Uh, so that's just part of our what we see in the simulation. They're not real. Oh, we're not real either, right?
Well, it's I've always had this thought since I was 8, 9 years old. What if we are someone else's dream? While
Yeah.
they're asleep, we're awake, and while we're awake, they're asleep.
Oh shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I thought that, and I also thought, especially when virtual reality came out, what if we are a virtual reality character of someone else? Like someone's playing this game of life through virtual reality or whatever.
Well, they have to be pretty fucking boring to play our lives.
Yeah, well, maybe they're logged off, so only when the exciting shit happens is when they log in. My
Well, they
controllers
haven't
have been
logged
logged
in
up.
for a long time. Then
Yeah,
somebody has lost their login.
my controller's like, oh, I'm gonna go to work again. That's the most exciting time of this
They
character's
probably been
life.
trying to log in and keep getting told password unacceptable.
Mm. But I say I don't know if the pituitary gland or the pineal gland. One of them is like a radio signal almost.
Third eye,
Yeah, but they say it's actually like a signal, like we're connecting something.
penile gland, whatever.
Yeah, almost like the senile gland that our president has. Yeah,
Um, yeah. See, I believe in the fact that we're not using our brains like we could and probably did at one time, and that we're
yeah.
capable of much more.
Well, yeah, like the unexplained story where the guy lifts a car off, kid got hit by a bike, car's
Yeah.
crushed him, lifts it up, and he can't do it again later. It's like all of a sudden you got the super strength from, but shouldn't you be able to recreate that somehow?
Well,
That
you could
environment.
if it was another emergency, most likely, but
Yeah, but can't you just remember that? Like, oh, I did it. I should be able to remember it. Bam. Yeah.
no, because your body goes in through the stressors. All of a sudden, boom, adrenaline starts pumping.
Well,
Boom.
but why on command the brain is supposed to be such a good thing? Why can't we
Well, if you
command
look
it?
at Buddhist monks, they're able to control certain aspects of their body. If they can get hit
Yeah.
with a uh, bamboo
Stick.
piece of wood, or a board right on their throat, and it doesn't cave in their windpipe,
Oh,
they're able to stiffen up their neck to be able to resist it
oh,
and not be hurt from it.
oh,
They're able to do all kinds of things, walk across rice paper without leaving a trace,
yeah.
and snatching stones from people's hands like that.
Time out.
Right when I'm on a fucking roll.
Damn it. You guys all right? All right? I heard somebody moaning or something. What are you doing?
They were getting it on.
Yeah. No. Okay.
You're interrupting.
Sorry, I thought somebody was dying out there.
You're interrupting their fun time.
Okay, go ahead. No. Yeah, I heard somebody. That's what it sounded like. I don't know what the.
And then it glitched.
Yeah, I never had the clothes on.
It's weird, man.
All right, number 9, Jammer. Why does our universe have rules in the first place? MIT cosmologist.
Cosmologist.
Yeah, cosmologist. Yeah,
Yeah.
study the stars. Pointing to our universe's strict laws of physics as possible evidence that we live in a video game. If we were a character in a computer game, I would also discover eventually that the rules seemed completely rigid and mathematical. In this theory, the speed of light, the fastest rate at which any particle could travel, represents the speed limit for transmitting information within the network of our simulation. Like that burp.
Wow.
I got the Quark computer code. You ever hear that one?
No.
Something about identify what appears to be actual computer code embedded in the equation of string theory that describes
Oh
the.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
He says the found error correcting codes, they're what make web browsers work. So why were they in the equation? I was studying about quarks and electrons and supersymmetry or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. Donald Trump, weird news. Some have proposed that recent unlikelihoods include Donald Trump's election, Brexit, the 2017 Oscar envelope mix-up, and that year's 25-point Super Bowl comeback could mean we're in a malfunctioning simulation or whoever is pushing the buttons is screwing with us. That's why I said a glitch. That could be true. Malfunctioning or someone's fucking with us, right?
Poking the bear,
Right.
messing with the hornet's nest.
Yes.
Well, I it's what's strange about it is I have these feelings that I've slipped in and out. You know, people act differently. People that I don't know me or whatever like that.
Right. You know what my weirdest one is?
What?
It's like my life's on hold right now. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
checking out of the matrix. Like I'm going to work. Yeah, I am getting some
Or
money.
is it like your video game experience where your guy was halfway in the picture and halfway out, so you're kind of
Right.
stuck where you're at?
Yeah. I don't know where I'm at or what I'm doing. I'm just
Yeah,
stuck here
yeah,
with my two guidance people in the video game
yeah.
that aren't guiding me well.
No, because they've kind of been stuck in it.
They're kind of my protectors, like holding me back since
Or
2018.
enablers. Yeah, I mean,
You ever get the feeling also that maybe you died and now it's like you died, but it's continue. You continue. Like, okay, you just died. I mean, not that you died. Maybe you did really die, but you don't go anywhere. You stay right here and just continue. You don't even remember the death part.
I have this theory, and you can tell me what you think of it here. The theory is basically there's people in the know. They know the truth. They've discovered the truth through our historical remnants,
Right.
discoveries and all that stuff that they've
Record.
discovered,
Yeah.
and they've kept it to themselves,
Top secret.
top secret. And some of that truth is one, keep the people so busy that they don't have time to think.
Right.
As long as they're busy, they can't think about the time they're losing or how their life is being wasted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like in 2020, everybody woke up to a degree. A
Yeah.
lot of people woke up and they said, "Well, hold on a second now. Me and you both been working all this time, and we're no further ahead, and we're barely able going to be able to afford the next 3 months, without working. What the hell, we got to do something here. We need to
Yeah.
reevaluate. And then they start reevaluating, and then they start thinking, well, I could start this business, or I could go back to school, or you know what? Why don't I just go to work? We'll save a ton load of money with daycare and everything else if you stay home.
Right.
And and so they wake up. I think, and now on top of that, I think also the people in the know limit the usage of psychedelic drugs and so forth and all these other hallucinogens because in different cultures they use those hallucinogens to get in touch with uh
The feminine side.
and no in touch
Oh,
with the
uh,
the mysterious, the unknown,
yeah.
the uh
The
your
supreme
altered
knowledge,
consciousness,
cosmic knowledge, whatever.
cosmic knowledge. Because if you look, most people who were artists, who are authors, who are uh, performers, songwriters, all these different people, literary giants, poets and stuff like that, uh, musicians in general, they have all touched in trying to go into altered states. Like Hemingway used to drink a lot, and he would get into the altered state of drunkenness. You know,
Yeah.
the Beatles they did all kinds of different drugs. The Rolling Stones, all kinds of different drugs, everything like that. And then they wrote some of the best material that they ever. All these different people getting in touch in writing the Grateful Dead. I mean,
Yeah.
phil- philosophy people, what do they call them? Philosophers.
Philosophical. Philosophers, yeah. All right.
They kind of touch into that stuff, and I think the powers that be limit and restrict us touching into that altered state or that interdimensional
Right. Partially, like putting a foot in it or whatever,
or into the ether of the
Like a
world.
lot of them come back, they know there's something there, but they still don't know what. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, how's there? Yeah, I can't really explain it to you or tell you how it works. Stuff like
It's
that.
just like that dimethyl tryptamine,
Yeah,
DMT,
DMT,
ayahuasca, whatever.
Alaska, Alaska. That's all I can
Um,
say.
you
Alaska,
get into that, you take that, you go into an altered state, and
right.
people say they realize that they are one with nature, one with the plants, one with the animals, one with the world, that we're
Hmm.
all interconnected. We're all part of it. We're all here for the same reasons, and the reasons is love, and all these things. So that, I mean, you get you do those things, and I mean, yet the powers that be restrict the usage of all that stuff, but they're one of the first people that take it. Have you ever noticed that?
Yep.
They'll go out and people will smoke pot. they get arrested and everything. But the powers that be that put the laws in place, they smoke pot all the time. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Another one, number 6, is video games that look like real life. I guess Elon Musk is big on that. He believes in Nick Bostrom simulation hypothesis, which posits that if humanity can survive long enough to create technology capable of running convincing simulations of reality, it'll create many such simulations. Therefore, there will be lots of simulated realities and only one base reality. So statistically, it's probably more likely we live in a simulation right now. It goes on and on and on.
Well, the problem with the simulations to begin with is one, we would have to be, if we are human beings, if we are this physical form that we are right here, touch,
That we
feel,
that we
flesh
think
and
we are.
bone, that we think we are,
Yeah.
we have to be able to feel. We have to be able to sense, taste, smell, hear, see, all these different things that, and how are you going to create a simulation for me to experience that unless I'm connected to something?
Right.
That I'm laying in a pool of water or gel or something like that, and I got a what you going in my head, straight to
Yeah.
my head, give me those feelings and
Yeah.
touch. You know what I'm saying?
No, you can hit a button. I know kung fu.
Yeah. Let me download that program. Boom, I know it.
My downloads suck.
Because they keep getting hung up with your slow internet.
Right. Another one was something about climate change. Set on the cusp of environmental chaos, suggested we could be an ancestor simulation created in hopes that we'd show our creators how to solve an energy crisis. This theory overlaps slightly with aliens as simulation quitters. That theory above, we found an innovative solution to climate crisis. Extraterrestrials being might return to crib the results. I don't know what the fuck that's all about. Another one, DNA contains a computer virus. Electrons that can't make
Oh,
up.
a DNA is a computer.
And they're basically researchers at University of Washington proved that they could embed malicious computer code into physical strands of DNA. Their aim was to show that computers working in given or gene sequence were vulnerable to attack, but that they may also have inadvertently revealed that what we perceive to be biological reality was in fact computer code all along. Uh,
Okay.
in physics, famous doubt slit experiments. Electrons are filled at a photosensitive screen through slits. This is something about electrons. Blah, blah, blah. That's too much. Okay. Missing aliens. We spent billions sending probes through outer space and should probably have found evidence of extraterrestrials by now, right? Not so fast. Aliens would likely be far more technologically advanced than we are. The thing goes, so the fact we haven't located them suggests we live in a simulation they figured out how to escape from. Or maybe the computer we're in only has enough RAM to simulate one planetary civilization at a time.
Hmm.
Right.
Interesting.
And then, of course, number one is the Mandela effect.
Yeah, that Mandela effect, I really have to believe, is pretty
It even
strong.
mentions the Berenstein Bears.
Well, all right. So let me ask you, Fred and Barney, what show were they on?
The Flintstones.
Flint or Flynn Stones?
I thought it was Flint.
That's what I thought. But some people remember it as Flynn Stones.
Like FLIN Stones. Flintstones.
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I seem to remember it as Flint Stones.
Yeah, let's check it. Shit. The Flintstones. Yeah, they got INT Stones on here on Google. Let's see if I spell it without the T in there. That's what comes up. Flintstones without the T. Still comes up with a T when you search on it. Yeah.
some people remember the Quaker Man being a certain look, and then the other one. But I know they changed the look of the Quaker Man over the years.
Yeah. There's another one. I guess people recall seeing a non-existent movie from the 1990s called Shazam, starring the comedian Sinbad as a genie.
Yeah,
Now, I don't remember the name of a movie or anything, but I swear I
yeah,
saw something with him as a genie.
yeah. There was a movie with him in it, Shazam.
Huh. But they say it's not real.
Look it up,
Man,
Shazam.
movie Sinbad. Spoiler: the Shazam movie never existed. Originally published in November 20. Sinbad Shazam: a strange case of a movie that doesn't exist. But it shows a picture of him dressed up as a genie.
Actor and sports star Shaquille O'Neal stated that if kids wanted to see him and Sinbad team up as
Kazam, maybe? I don't know.
I remember it.
Oh, well. I remember a reality where Barney was the sheriff and Andy was a deputy.
I hear you.
They should do a skit on that, huh?
Well, Barney actually was going to become sheriff
Yeah.
in an episode. But I do think that one that you mentioned just a minute ago, what was it again?
Shazam?
Shazam?
Yeah.
That one right there is really odd because I remember there being
Shazam
supposedly a
movie,
movie.
Sinbad. Because when you go to IMDb, it says we found Sinbad's Shazam genie movie.
Yeah.
But every other website says it doesn't exist. There's a College Humor made Shazam footage make a fake Sinbad movie a real one. What Sinbad's kids want you to know about Shazam? I don't know. Weird.
I remember there being a movie.
Shazam. We got Shazambled.
But, I mean, I thought Mandela was. Now I don't know because I you
Well,
said
Mandela,
was
because
dead.
everybody thought he died in prison, but then he got out of prison and fought apartheid after he got out or whatever.
Yeah, I could have swore he was dead.
I don't remember that far back. I remember him getting out of prison. But as far as him being a person before that, I didn't know who he was or never heard of him. So after he got
Well,
out of
I
prison.
hadn't heard of him, but when I did hear about him, I thought they were. I would have swore they were announcing that he had died.
I mean, because you remember before he got out of prison, I never heard about him because all you heard about South Africa was Desmond Tutu.
Yeah, and apartheid.
Right. Never heard anything about the other guy until after he got out of prison.
And I thought he
At
died in
least I
prison.
did, but I was a kid back then. I don't know what year he got out, but
Ask Google.
of course we didn't have the internet back then too. We couldn't look shit up back then like we can now.
Yeah, I strongly believe that the Mandela effect is probably real.
Yeah. The
We've
only thing I
slipped.
know in the Matrix is when I'm going to pick up something, my car keys or my wallet, and I'm like, where the fuck's it at? And I go, don't see it. I go looking all around the
Oh
house.
yeah, that's the Minutemen.
And then you go back to where you looked the first place and it's sitting right there.
Yeah, that's the Minutemen.
That's the Minutemen.
Yeah, Minutemen that build each minute before you. You know,
So
so
they
they
fix
build
it.
every minute a minute before
Oh.
you experience it.
Also, well, how do they screw up?
Sometimes they forget things, and so then they correct it, and next thing you know, you find your stuff where you thought you left it
Oh.
after looking at it for the third time.
Huh. All right. Spitter Swallow Beer Review.
I am Jammer.
I am Shagdog Neo.
Oh,
I control
we'll see
this
you on the
world.
next one, guys. Thanks for watching, commenting, subscribing, liking, and sharing, and ringing that little bell. We appreciate it. You're all two of you.
Yes. Or 5 people that watch it twice, and I'm one of them.
Oh, their lives have to be more boring. Well, I don't know. I think ours is more boring, and we film it,
Yeah, true.
and then somebody watches it. I don't know if they're
Oh,
more boring life or our, because we made film of it.
yeah. We're creating our own matrix.
Maybe that's what it is.
People get caught in it, but only 10 people.
Yeah. Well, if you have experienced a glitch, or you have a loved one, or know of someone who has experienced a glitch in the Matrix, please comment below. Let us know
Yes,
about your stories
right.
and any other interesting, odd, and strange happenings that you may have experienced while drinking or not.
Yeah.